Okay, I have the time as 7:33, so I will call the public hearing and regular business meeting of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia for Monday, June the 14th, 2021 to order. Given the invocation tonight will be Councilmember Gretchen Schultz.
Let's bow our heads, please. Lord, we come to you tonight asking for blessings for a man who has devoted his whole life's work to serving and protecting others. Roy Whitehead is retiring from a 50-year career in law enforcement. He came to Snellville in 2004 as our chief of police. He's been here 17 years with us. He has been a leader here in Snellville, and we ask your blessings on him. We would ask you to protect his health and reward his service to us with many years ahead that will allow him to do things which bring him joy. Please also bless our soon-to-be chief, Greg Perry, and our soon-to-be assistant chief, David Madsen. We're very grateful for their leadership skills and their dedication to serving you. Bless and protect all of the men and women of the Snellville Police Department as they serve us every day and put their lives on the line for us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. And now Chief Whitehead will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chief. And now, under ceremonial matters, we will have a proclamation. And before I read this proclamation, I would just like to say a few words. As Gretchen alluded to, the chief has been with the city since 2004. I was elected in 2005, so he was here when I got here, and he has been a tremendous support for this city and a tremendous example for this city and a tremendous help to this city, and not only to the city of Snellville, but also to all of the cities in Gwinnett County. I know when I was first elected, it was a couple years later that we got into a bit of a squabble with Gwinnett County with SDS, and it was the chief who emerged as the leader in the police areas, and he spent a lot of his time and had a lot of expertise and a lot of good things to do and say and help support of the police cities. He has a way about him where he can explain difficult things to people. When we have citizens that complain about police work, or some incident that happens, he's great to be able to take that over and get the situation worked out. We have had such great leadership in the police department. I mean, you can see some of the officers that we have here. Most of the time, when I get a citizen complaint about something to do with law enforcement, it's usually not in how they were treated by the officer. And if I do get that complaint, it's always, we kind of laugh, because when I do get that complaint about how bad the officer was, and I turn in that information and I get, as Paul Harvey would say, the rest of the story, it brings you to a new level of understanding about what police work is all about, but really how great our police officers are and our department is. And all of that was possible through his leadership. And I would also say that the mark of a really good leader is someone who nurtures the people that are under them so that they are there to take over leadership positions. And we have that. We were able to move Greg Perry right on up to the chief position at the end of this month, and that's a great sign of a leader when you can develop the leadership and the people that are coming behind you. So with that, I will read the proclamation. Well, before I do that, if any other council members, if you would like to say a word, could you keep it short? Okay. All right, then never mind. But if anyone would like to say a quick word.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. I don't remember the year. It's long before I was involved with the city council, and I saw something happen on Highway 78 that I didn't think was appropriate, and I sent an email to Chief Whitehead. I didn't know him from Adam. He didn't know me, and I thought, I'll just send it just to see what happens, and I never expected a response, and I got a response. And I think that just shows his attention to detail and handling all the questions that come up and not just blowing something off because, and it wasn't a boilerplate. He addressed the issue and gave me a very good response. And I just think that's who he is, and that's one of the reasons we've had such great police work throughout the years that he's been here.
Well, there isn't much that I could say that hasn't already been said, but I am going to miss your stories. I think all of us will. He's the best storyteller that we have, I think. And he also worked to for the Citizens Police Academy to start that. And that has been just an awesome program. And I think it's helped so many of us better understand what police work is all about. And thank you, Chief, very much.
I have always appreciated how accessible you are and how quick you are to answer a question. It has been an incredible source of comfort to me as a high school teacher, knowing all sorts of possible things that could happen in the school, in the classroom, in and around the school community, that I always had your number, and there wasn't a time that you didn't respond to one of my texts, sometimes at the strangest hours, but it's going to be an adjustment to not have you on my what we used to call speed dial, but if I accidentally on purpose contact you, just hopefully you'll be gracious. Just so much appreciated.
Can you far away? Okay. Yes. Come here. Okay, you can hear me, right? Let me move closer. Okay. All right, Chief Whitehead. I've gotten to know you for the past 2 years, and I really admire the way you lead the police department and the way you serve our city. And I remember when I first started on council, as I said, it's my second year, for those of you who don't know, and an issue came up with a citizen and subdivisions and things. Me being new, I didn't really understand what's going on in certain HOAs divisions, right, subdivisions. So I said to the chief, I said, okay, if I sit in on this meeting so I can learn. And I was really surprised that you were very open to me sitting in and I learned a lot that day, you know, on how things operate. If you're in an HOA and not in an HOA, it's just so many rules to follow. And I do thank you for that insight. And again, you know, I'm very happy to serve the city that you have served. And I know that the police officers all will continue to serve very well, you know, because you've taught them very well. You were always there, you know. But thank you. Thank you, Chief.
There was a time, my first stint on city council, that Roy Whitehead was an absolute godsend to us, that he kept us safe and kept us in line. He knows darn well there was no way you could give city council bricks during a meeting because they would be flying all over the place. Roy Whitehead has put this city first from his first day here. He made sure we were the first city in the state that every officer had body cams, had them on all the time. When that first came out, I thought, oh, Lord, he was absolutely right. There hasn't been a month that's gone by that those haven't saved the citizens and our officers from having complaints that were unfounded lodged against them. The way we will all be remembered is by what we have built. And Roy Whitehead has built the best police department in the state of Georgia, if not the United States. And I applaud you, I salute you, and I thank every officer that follows in your footsteps. So thank you very much.
Yes.
Roy, I just want to say from a personal and professional aspect, I'm going to miss the heck out of you. I appreciate all the guidance you've given me, the friendship that we've developed. That's not going to end. And your work with the department is just, it means so much to me. And I know it means a lot to these guys. You know, I don't have 50 years in public service. I'm not going to make 50 years in public service, but almost 40. My first police chief was a Pearl Harbor veteran. And I've had a lot of chiefs in between, but no one has been a chief as good as you. And that's across 38 years and 4 communities. And I want you to know how much you're appreciated, and thank you for everything. Take care.
And Chief, I wanted to jump in too, because I have a little different relationship with you than everybody else, because I prosecuted cases with you before I was the city attorney for a long, long time. And I can absolutely tell everyone here, I worked with every police chief in Gwinnett County, and Chief Whitehead absolutely just stands out there head and shoulders above. The people he trained, the way he treats people, the way, like I say, responsive. I mean, I don't ever remember him not being at his desk returning a phone call when I called or needed something. And echoing what Mayor Bender said about the training. I mean, I've prosecuted cases for Neil and Greg and Mattson and Ray, and I call them that because I mean they're friends of mine these days because I worked with them. We trusted each other, and the work they did is just top-notch stuff. And so we have just as citizens of Snellville, we are just very blessed to have had you lead us, and we just wish you the best in your future endeavors.
I'll talk to you later. Now, I will read the proclamation. Proclamation 2021-09, Retirement of Chief Roy Whitehead, 2004 to 2021. Whereas Chief Roy Whitehead began his 50-year career in law enforcement with the Army National Guard as a military police officer in 1971. And whereas Chief Roy Whitehead began his civilian career with the Athens Clark County Police Department in 1977 and ascended through the ranks to become a lieutenant. And whereas Chief Roy Whitehead became Chief of Police of the Somerville Police Department in 1994 and remained the Chief of Police until moving to the Snellville Police Department in 2004 as the city's Chief of Police. And whereas during his career, Chief Whitehead served in the Patrol Division, Traffic Unit, Criminal Investigations, and Police Administration. And whereas while leading the Snellville Police Department, Chief Whitehead initiated the K-9 Unit, Special Response Team, Motor Unit, Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Team, Public Safety Night, bolstered the city's police academy, Explorer Post, community outreach, and training initiatives in professional criminal patrol. And whereas in 2007, Chief Whitehead spearheaded the planning and development of the current Snellville Police Department facility, with his efforts culminating in the department moving into a new public safety building in January of 2011 in the town center area. And whereas Chief Whitehead has received multiple life-saving awards, Governor's Office of Highway Safety Awards, Public Safety Officer of the Year through Gwinnett County Chamber of Commerce, and VFW Police Safety or Public Safety Officer of the Year. And whereas Chief Whitehead has received numerous letters of commendation from his coworkers, supervisors, and more importantly, from the community he served. And whereas Chief Whitehead served the city of Snellville and its citizens with honor, dedication, professionalism, and with distinction. Therefore, I, Barbara Bender, Mayor of the city of Snellville, Georgia, where everybody's proud to be somebody, do hereby join with our city council and the citizens of Snellville to recognize Chief Roy Whitehead for his 50 years of dedication to the communities he has served, and especially for his service to the city of Snellville as well as the citizens, and do hereby proclaim Monday, June 14th, 2021 as Chief Roy Whitehead Day in the city of Snellville. Proclaim this 14th day of June 2021. So Chief, if you'll come up, we'll present the proclamation. One more thing for you as well.
Stay with that podium. Here we go. Thank you.
We have a reward for you. It says Chief Roy Whitehead, 2004 to 2021, in appreciation for your 17 years of loyal service to the city of Snellville and 50 years of dedicated public safety.
Yeah, it's not my last day. What I want to say is that I'm so proud to have been a part of this community and a part of this police department. I always say that this was a great police department, not because of me, but in spite of me. And the men and women that work here are the best in the nation. They care about their community, and we couldn't be luckier. When all the other agencies around are looking for people, and we've had the opportunity to fill all of our positions, and I'm so appreciative of that. I'm also excited that Greg Perry is going to take over, and he'll take this department to the next level. He's very well qualified, and below him, he's preparing others that'll be able to come along behind him too. I think we have put ourselves in a great position to be successful. We've won some awards, that's true, but the awards were won on the work from the men and women. Not because of me or Greg, it's because of all the work they do and what they do every day. And the people of our community should know that it is a safe community, and that as long as they're out there doing their job and not stopping, it'll continue to be that way. And I want to thank all of you for working with me and supporting me all this time, and Butch and your help and everything that you've done. And it's just been a wonderful opportunity for us to move ahead as a community, and I thank you.
And Greg, as you'll be taking over as chief, we just want to make sure that you and all your other officers know that the window tint on Butch's car is okay.
Todd has too
Okay, now we'll move on to the minutes. Is there, what are we looking
Motion.
for? A motion.
Motion to approve the minutes of the May 24th, 2021 meetings.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have no invited guests and no committee or department reports. Now we'll move to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda with the following change. Under new business, items C, D, E, F, and G move to the consent agenda.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the agenda, moving items C through G under new business to the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have one item under our public hearing. That's item A, second reading RZ 21-01 and LUP 21-01. We received a letter from Access Infrastructure, the applicant, asking to withdraw. So is there a motion to allow the withdrawal of this rezoning?
Motion to allow the withdrawal from Access Infrastructure of RZ 21-01 and LUP 21-01.
There's a motion to allow the withdrawal. Is there a second?
Second.
I got Todd. So motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. So now we have under the consent agenda, I'll just read through the items that will be on the consent agenda. It's the mayor's nomination, requesting the council confirmation on reappointment to several people to several different boards. We have for the Planning Commission, board members, Post 5, Carrie Hetherington, with a term expiration of June 30th, 2023. Post 6, Michael Kissel, with the same expiration date of 2023. We have reappointment to the Board of Appeals member, Post 5, Betty Ann Kuman, with a term expiration of 2023. We have the reappointment for the Development Authority of Snellville board members, Development Authority of Snellville, for Post 1, Deborah Jones, with a term expiration of June 30th, 2025. We have reappointment of Urban Redevelopment Authority, Deborah Jones, with an expiration of her term of June 2025. And we have reappointment for the Parks and Rec board members, Nicole Irish with Post 5 and Post 6, Darcy King, both with an expiration of June 30th, 2023. Those are the items listed under the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We have no old business. Under new business, we have item A, second reading ordinance 2021-17, adoption of the fiscal year 2021 to 2022 budget for each fund of the city of Snellville, Georgia, appropriating the amount shown in each budget as expenditures, expenses, adopting the several items of revenue anticipations, and prohibiting expenditures or expenses from exceeding the actual funding available. This is the budget. This will be the second reading on the budget. So after we have a motion and a second, if any council members would like to make a comment, you may. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt the fiscal year 2021-22 budget with reference to ordinance 2021-17.
There's a motion to approve the budget. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any council members like to make a comment? Okay. With that, I will call the vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. Next, we have item B, consideration and action on approval of an intergovernmental cooperation agreement with Gwinnett County for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development CDBG program, urban county qualification, and authorization for the mayor to execute the cooperation agreements. Gwinnett County is actually who runs the program, distributes the funds that are received from the state of Georgia for community development grants. And this is an annual housekeeping item that just allows us to participate with the county on these grants. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the intergovernmental cooperation agreement with Gwinnett County for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development CDBG program, urban county qualification. Wait, I got mixed up there.
I know. It's a lot of words.
Just say what Barbara said. Motion to allow the mayor to execute the agreement.
I'll take the easy part and say second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. That is 6 in favor and none opposed. We moved all of those other items to the consent agenda. So now we'll move to council reports. Councilmember Justang.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, good evening, everyone. I just want to recap quickly on the Snellville Memorial Day celebration, which took place on May 29th. We remembered our fallen military heroes who fought to protect our freedom. I always get somewhat emotional at these events because I know that somebody's husband, father, brother, mother, wife, sister has died for me in combat so that I may remain safe and free. Freedom isn't free. There is always a sacrifice that is made for the good of mankind. Also, on June 7th, Mayor and Council attended the groundbreaking for the Gwinnett Technical College's CIS Cybersecurity and Emerging Tech Building. It will bring great opportunities for students and staff at Gwinnett Technical with this new structure. It should be completed in 2023, so it will be something exciting to look forward to. Last but not least, I want to remind you that this Saturday, there will be lots of Juneteenth celebrations going on everywhere around Gwinnett and its neighboring counties. To recap, what this Juneteenth celebration is about. In 1865, Texas slave owners had refused to acknowledge the end of the Civil War and the emancipation of slaves, despite the fact that Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation 2 years prior, in 1863, to end slavery. Word of the freedom of slaves did not reach the last enslaved black people until June 19 of 1865, where they became liberated. And so everyone can help in celebrating this holiday by using your voice to spread love. You can also take time to share the stories of black people you admire and learn about prominent black figures in American history. There will be a big celebration, and I showed like a little flyer, and thank you, Erica. There will be a big celebration at Treasure Park this Saturday, June 19th, in Norcross from 3 to 8 p.m. This is being sponsored by the NAACP. And on this note, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight, and stay safe. I love you all.
Thank you, Solange. Councilmember Warner.
Well, for those of y'all who aren't aware, today is Flag Day. And my son asked me, what's Flag Day? And being of the Benevolent and Protective Order of Elk, I kind of realized I'd fallen down on my job, because being an elk, patriotism was and shall be the foundation tenet of what being an elk is. Because in 1868, the Elks actually started Flag Day. Gwinnett Daily Post posted an article today that said that it was a gentleman in Wisconsin. What they failed to mention was he was an elk. And the reason behind it is It's on this day in 1777, I had to write it down because I'll never remember that the Second Continental Congress adopted the U.S. flag as the nation's flag. And since then, every military member of the military that has gone to war in service of our nation has marched under that flag. Many of them came home with that flag draped on their casket. And it wasn't until 1949 that Harry Truman, who surprisingly was an Elk, made it a national holiday, made this Flag Day. And all it is to remember the founding tenets of our nation and to honor our flag on its birthday and to remember that we should all be patriots and we should all be willing to stand and fight for what this nation stands for. My son got the real short one of that. I was like, it's the flag's birthday, so y'all are welcome that you got the long story. And
Thank you. Councilmember Schultz?
Hey.
Are you?
Hey.
I was at the end and flipping over here. Councilmember Linsky.
I had a moment where I thought maybe I was invisible. At our last council meeting, we had the unique opportunity to honor our South Gwinnett boys varsity soccer team, and they are continuing to receive amazing awards and honors. Last week, Kadeem Agard was chosen to be the Georgia Boys Soccer Player of the Year for the entire state of Georgia, Gatorade. Incredible honor, which basically means he is considered to be the best soccer player, the high school level in the state of Georgia. In Illinois, we would call this Mr. Soccer or Mr. Basketball, but they don't do that incredible distinction. Outstanding athletic excellence, as well as academic achievement, exemplary character. He will be attending Mercer University on a full scholarship in the fall, so just an amazing young man, and he continues to accomplish great things on and off the field. Please also keep in mind that school is in session, so traffic cameras, and be aware of the speed limit that has not changed in 40 years. So, and look out for kids. I'm happy to say that I am not teaching summer school as well. So, very excited. Nor is Solange. Finally, a little bit of a break. And thank you for coming out to support us tonight.
And now on to Councilmember Schultz.
Well, I want to extend a thank you to Kathy Emanuel and Kelly McAloon, who both helped me very much at the first two Snellville Farmers Markets of the summer season. This year, we have more vendors than we've ever had, and our first two markets have been absolutely awesome. And I could not have gotten the summer season off to the start that I needed to without their help at the first two markets. They helped me collect booth fees. Kelly, of course, was running around doing live videos and taking photos, and it was all very much appreciated as we worked to get all the vendors in the right booth space, especially the new vendors that had never been with us before and didn't quite know what it was all about. They were awesome markets, so I hope if you haven't been that you'll come. The other thing is a community garden thing I wanted to tell you about. Probably many of you know that the tree trimmings and leaves and all that you take to the public works, they grind up and they make mulch. We get some of that mulch at the garden. It really is, I almost hesitate to call it mulch. It's more like compost. It makes the soil in our garden beds so rich. It's unbelievable. But if you don't know, I think this may or may not be the best kept secret in Snellville. You can go to Public Works when they have mulch available, and they will give you a bucket load of, it's not just a bucket, it's a front loader bucket full of mulch for $10. And it is awesome stuff. I mean, it really is great for your garden. If you want to go and you want to use, a shovel yourself and do it all on your own, and you don't need their front end loader bucket, you can get it for free. So it's probably one of the, I don't know if it's the best kept secret in Snellville, but because I think a lot of people know about it, but it is a great bargain, and I just wanted to be sure that you all knew about that. Thank you all for coming out tonight, especially to recognize our police chief and our incoming police chief. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gretchen. Mayor Pro Tem Emanuel.
Thank you. I'm not as old as Todd, so I don't remember 1777 or 1868. You were there. No, you were there. You talked about it. But I think Flag Day is often a holiday that is ignored, and I think we all need to give some thought to not only the flag and the Pledge of Allegiance, but what it really means. And it's kind of unfortunate that we're in the current environment where it seems there's more negative comments made about this country than positive. And for the people who make negative comments, I always wonder, leave. There's nothing holding you here if the place is this bad. And I think we've seen in Snellville that there's a reason they're here, because this is the best place in the world to live. And on another subject, I want to welcome Greg Perry. We've already had some interaction with him, and I think he's going to be an outstanding police chief. So I want to welcome him, and I'm sure any help that the council can give you, we're here. And thank everybody for attending.
Thank you, Dave. And just two quick items. I think Solange. Oh. Well, okay, so 3 items. It's Mayor Pro Tem Emanuel's birthday today. So if you all can wish him a happy birthday. You may sing, I'm not singing. And then I think Solange already mentioned, we did go to the groundbreaking for Gwinnett Tech's new cybersecurity building, and it was a very nice event for a groundbreaking, and we're very excited to see that level of commitment and improvement over at Gwinnett Tech. I think the new training that they're going to be offering in that building is going to be phenomenal. So we're very excited to see that coming out of the ground. And for our Grove improvement, we've got some pictures. Winters Construction is providing us a weekly update in pictures of the construction site. So this was this week's update from last week. What you're seeing there is where the footings will be poured for the parking deck. And then this is where some of the stormwater lines and other lines are being put down. Is that right, Butch? Will that be stormwater there?
Those are
or footings?
Building footings
and stuff.
stockpile material. You can see the MEP is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. You can see some of the supplies are being loaded in.
So that's what's happening over there, at least on that corner of the Grove area. That's where they're pouring some of the footings there. We will have a little bit of a delay. We've hit a little more rock over there as they're trying to bore down for the pilings. Is that right?
Yes.
The right word?
Yes.
The piers. So we're trying to get that worked out now. But things are progressing over on the site, and very excited to see all of this happening. So that's all of my update. Anyone, we will open the floor to public comment. Anyone who would like to say anything, please come up and provide your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Council. My name is Diane Krause, 220 Oakside Way in Lawrenceville. My comment this evening is in reference to Councilwoman Gretchen Schultz's comment about your beautiful garden. You think you have wonderful mulch? I have tons and tons and tons of chicken manure, okay, chicken manure that you are more than welcome to have free. Any of you. I bring it home in 5-gallon buckets. It does not stay long. The community comes and gets it, and we have the best gardens. So anyone that would like some chicken manure is welcome. Please get in touch with me, and I will be happy to share.
Do you have a front loader to help us load?
I do. I absolutely do. When you have tons, you have the equipment to move it. Thank you. It was nice to be back. It's nice to be on this side. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Very good to see you, Diane. Anyone else would like to make a comment?
How can you follow up manure?
It is politics after all. With that, I see no one else, so I will close the public comment and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. 6 in favor, none opposed. We're done. Thank you all for coming out tonight.